يكون اخف شوي يعني.
هذا قريب للاسم، قريب للاسم.
إخواني، خراب الدنيا، السبب الرئيسي لخراب الدنيا كلها، هذه الدنيا بأكملها، الكفر والشرك والذنوب والمعاصي والمنكرات. So I'm going to talk something in general because the time is already close to 8:30. And I hope, inshallah, you have some patience. We know that this life is corrupted is because of, people who making partner for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, disbelieved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and disobeyed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have no doubt. So, we are in the month of Sha'ban. We have 3 weeks to enter the month of Ramadan. I think we mentioned some stuff in the khutbah. We need to prepare for the month of Ramadan to be easy for you. So you have to fast, you have no choice. But if you prepare, you will fast with no difficulty. So if you try to fast some days, as much as you can in the month of Sha'ban, so your body will get used to it. Your mind get used to it. Aql, your intellect, get used to it. So you will be ready for the fasting of month of Ramadan. Everyone, when you start fasting in the first couple days, you feel some difficulty, headache, some uncomfortable, the body, because it's not used to it. But when you pass this in the month of Sha'ban, then this is not going to happen to them in the month of Ramadan. And then month of Ramadan, you have to be happy for the ibadah. You have to excite it. You have to love it. You have to enjoy it. Not to wait for the time. Once in a while to check the time. What time is it? Oh, there's 3 more hours. And then there's some people like this, because they not train themselves in the month of Sha'ban. And then also the month of Sha'ban is like a training month for the month of Ramadan, to get rid of the sins you have, because we know we make mistakes, and then we have to remove these sins. We have to take it off from our shoulders by tawbah, return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to clean ourselves to be light when we enter the month of Ramadan. So if we heavy with the dhunub, with the ma'asi, all these sins on the shoulder, and then you heavy from all these sins, so the heart will be tied. It's not going to be open for the dhikr. It's not going to be open for the Quran. It's not going to be open for the ibadah in the month of Ramadan. So we need to remove the sins from ourselves. All the time we be commanded to make istighfar, all the time. But when the season of ibadah, come to you, try to take advantage. Don't ignore it, because you stayed in this month. It's not just because you stayed. Many people was before this month, before the month of Sha'ban, they passed away. They not reach it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept you. So take advantage. This is the season of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the ummah da'ifa. He knows that. But Allah, with these seasons of ibadah, He made the ummah above all ummahs because of the seasons. Because of a small ibadah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised you up. And take advantage of this month to be light for the month of Sha'ban. And then from the sins, I want to mention one of the worst sin we see in these days between the Muslims. Al-ghiba, backbiting. is subhanallah, we see khanzir, we see pork. All Muslims, they agree it's haram, it's unlawful, it's not allowed. But also, as applying, all Muslims, maybe 99 or 100% of the Muslims, they not eat it. They apply it. They apply what they believe. They believe it's haram, they apply it by action. As a belief, they believe it's haram, it's not allowed, it's unlawful. Also, by action, they apply it. But, subhanallah, ghiba, all Muslims, they know it's haram. But the majority of the Muslims, they fall to it. And from the major sins. صاحب الغيبة منبوذ حقيقة. You know, between the people, if you know someone, he's gonna backbite you, you don't want to see his face. You feel uncomfortable as soon as you see him. When you know about him, he talk about people. And also in the day of judgment. He's hated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah hate him. So we have to, think about ourselves, to practice physically to get rid of the sins. Backbiting, slandering Muslims, making fun on the Muslims. All these actions is haram and also from the kaba'ir. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hadith Abu Hurairah, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم أتدرون ما الغيبة؟ قالوا الله ورسوله أعلم. كان من شدة حبهم الصحابة رضوان الله تعالى عليهم لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وتعظيمهم له، أجوبتهم إذا سألهم سؤالا يدور حول الله ورسوله أعلم. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to ask the companions, and from the love they have, the respect have for the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, most of the time they say, Allah and His Messenger knows. Even if they know the answer, this is the answer. They used to respect the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. They used to say, Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam. He said, do you know what's the meaning of backbiting? Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he's asking. They said, Allah and His Messenger knows. He said, ذِكْرُكَ أَخَاكَ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ. To mention something about the Muslim and he don't like to hear it. To mention or talk about someone and he don't like this speech about him. So this is backbiting. قال أو إن كان في أخي ما أقول. If someone, what I'm saying is, it's true. If I mention something bad about him, what I said is true. So he said, this is the backbiting. وإن لم يكن فيه فقد بهت. And also if it wasn't true, so this is buhtan. So you're slandering him and you lie upon him. So this is, we have to think about it. This is not something small. This is not something small. Hadith سهل بن سعد رضي الله عنه وأرضاه قال من يضمن لي ما بين لحييه وما بين رجليه أضمن له الجنة. سبحان الله. الجنة حفت بالمكاره. And top of this, Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, whoever promised me protect his tongue and protect his private parts. Meaning he's not going to say something bad. He's not going to say except good. من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. So he's not saying anything except good. And also he protect his honor. He said, I promised him the Jannah. Do you know this is something, it was very easy. If that easy, everyone will apply it. As a hadith, أحب عباد الله إلى الله أحسنهم أخلاقا وأحسنهم خلقا. The same thing. If this is that easy, so everyone will get it. But this is showing that it's not easy. It's not easy. Shaitan working very hard. to put you in this situation, to backbite people. If you backbite people, you're gonna make fun on the Muslims too. You're gonna look at them down too. So you're gonna slander people too. You're gonna lie upon people too. Why? Because not always what you're saying is truth. Even the truth is a ghiba. But if we look at the ayat, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكون خيرا منهم ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه اتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم. If we look at these ayat, this is starting, it's leading to the between ghiba and slandering and making fun, backbiting people. All stuff is happening in one time, happening, together. Because the one who backbite people become a habit for him, become a character for him. So he's gonna say good, he's gonna say bad about all people, good or bad, good people or bad people. He's not gonna stop. He's not gonna say bad only about the bad people. Even we're talking about if someone what he mentioned about him, this is the ghiba, this is the meaning of backbiting. But still, so and then after that, he's gonna make fun on people. He's gonna slander others. When we look at the ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Oh, you believe. Oh, you believe." Look at the ayat. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying in the Quran. Don't make fun on each other. And whoever you're making fun on him, maybe he's better than you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe he's better than you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're making fun on someone, he's better than you, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the taqwa is in the heart, and the heart of the people is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody knows who have more taqwa. Inna akramakum inda Allahi atqakum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hide it from us. We don't know who have more taqwa, have more piety. We don't know who have more piety and more fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I know I have more fear than anyone, it's going to make me arrogant. If you know, it's going to make you arrogant. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hide it from us. The taqwa is in the chest, is in the heart. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows about the heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the people who you're making fun of them, maybe they are better than you. And also from them amongst the women too. The woman she's talking about the other women, maybe they are better than her. And she don't know. So we have to think about it. ولا نساء من نساء عسى يكون خيرا منهم ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب. Don't try to hams and lams. We have two things. One by tongue and one by point. By you pointing with your head, you pointing with your finger, you whatever. So this is all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He prohibited. And then in the end of the ayah, Allah said, whoever not making tawbah, and they are amongst the oppressors. Okay, tawbah, we're talking about tawbah. Tawbah meaning return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially we talk about the month of Sha'ban, to be light to enter the Ramadan, the shurut al-tawbah, there's conditions for you to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you return. There's the three conditions. If something between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's the three conditions. Whatever bad you're doing, you stop it right there. First, you stop it. Second, you feel sorry for what you did. Third, you not go back to it. This is the conditions if you return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you have these three conditions, so your returning will be accepted. Allah will accept it from you. And He remove all your bad to good deeds. He remove all your sins and turn to a good deeds. So if you backbiting others, these three conditions is not going to help you. These three conditions is not going to help you. If you're backbiting people, these conditions is not going to help you. You have to add another condition, if something between you and people, to return the right of the people. So if you backbiting someone, you stop backbiting, and then you feel sorry for what you did, for your backbiting, and then you're not going back to it. But still, you not return the right of the person. You not return the right of the person you backbite him. So Allah will not accept this tawbah until you turn the right of the people. So we have, if the mistakes or the sin between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have three conditions. You stop doing it, you feel sorry, and you not go back to it. If between you and people, so you have these three conditions, and you add another condition, you return the right of the people. For example, you took someone's money, loan, let's say, and then you not give it back to it. And then you have an intention to eat it, to not give it back to it. So you have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make tawbah. Make tawbah to return his right with the conditions we mentioned. You not do it again, you feel sorry for what you did, and you not go back to something like this again. Or you eat pork, or whatever you did. You have to have the conditions of tawbah to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the second ayah is really about backbiting. Oh, you believe, اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, stay away from a lot of doubt. In Arabic language, we have we don't have as English thought and doubt. In Arabic is حسن الظن أو سوء الظن. الظن is one, could be bad and could be good. But in English is different. So in Arabic, ظن could be good and could be bad. In English, we have thought, we have doubt. But we're going to go with the Arabic translation. So doubt could be good and could be bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, stay away from most of the doubt. So we said, we're going with the Arabic translation. So doubt could be good, could be bad, okay? Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, stay away from most of the doubt. Why? Because some of the doubt is a sin. Some of the doubt is a sin. To protect you from some, He commands you to stay away from the most. There's a some of the doubt is a sin. But because of some, a some could be 3, could be 4, could be 2. Right? So because of that, because to be protected, He commands you to stay away from the most, to be protected. To protect you from, to have a doubt about the Muslims. And then He said, وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. So if you have a doubt about someone, then what are you going to do? The person have a doubt about someone. What are you going to do? He's going to try to find out. For example, you have a doubt about someone, he drink alcohol. He have a doubt. And then he tried to see him, where he going, what he doing, who's his friend. Where's the places he's going? And then say he wants to apply his doubt. He wants to see if this is true. And so if he see him, for example, one time he's coming out from the liquor store. He's been thinking bad about this person, and then now he found him on a spot, to apply his dhann, to apply his doubt, to make it true to him. Okay, he stopped, to get a bottle of water, but this is stupidity. All these stores he leave. This is just an example. To leave all these stores and then you go to a liquor store to buy a bottle of water. But maybe he was there for something, question something. Maybe he was there to tell them, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is haram, this is not allowed. But he had a doubt about this topic of sin, and he found him in the sin spot. So he have a dhann, and then now he have tajassus. He followed his actions, and he was following his actions, his friends, his places, until he fell to the second one. After doubt, he found the second one, tajassus. And then after tajassus, what happened? وَلَا يَغْتَبْ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا. And then now he's going to backbite him. He's going to tell you, I had a doubt about this person. I had a doubt about this person. I found him, I was thinking for a long time. This is what he have. This is what he do. And I found him, this is with my eyes. He's showing, he have a proof. He's showing, now he got a proof. He said, I found him with my eyes. I saw him with my eyes. So he had a doubt, and then he followed spying on people, spying second, and then the third he fell to a backbiting. And then here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gave an example for every Muslim to not forget about it. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the backbiting. If your brother, if your brother, passed away, are you able to cut from his flesh and eat it? Who can do that? No one can do that. Even not your brother. Nobody can do that. But this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned. أَيُحِبُّ أَحَدُكُمْ أَن يَأْكُلَ لَحْمَ أَخِيهِ مَيْتًا فَكَرِهْتُمُوهُ. If someone, his brother passed away, who thinks he's going to eat from his flesh? Nobody. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gave this example. So if you discussed it, if you're not going to do that, to eat from his flesh, so don't eat his flesh and his honor while he's alive. Don't backbite him. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he honored the son of Adam. Even he have mistakes, try to give advice, try to cover, not expose. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, يا معشر من آمن بلسانه ولم يدخل الإيمان قلبه لا تغتابوا المسلمين ولا تتبعوا عوراتهم فمن تتبع عورة مسلم أو أخيه تتبع الله عورته ومن تتبع الله عورته فضحه ولو في جوف داره. Wallah, this is very scary. It's very scary, to hear something from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Oh, you believe with your tongue and the iman is not, or the faith is still not touching your heart. You believed in your tongue, but the belief is still not touching your heart. Don't backbite the Muslims. Don't follow their mistakes. And whoever follow their mistakes, Allah will follow his mistakes. And whoever Allah follow his mistakes, Allah will expose him even inside his house." Do you know, brothers, how you can be religious? How people can be religious? يعني كيف يلتزم الإنسان يستقيم؟ كيفية الاستقامة. How a person become, good Muslim? Is overnight? No. Is something you know something good, you try to do it. You know something bad, you stay away from. And then this is your actions, this is your akhlaq, this is your characteristics daily. You try to something small, don't ignore even small, try to apply it. So this is intikasa also, the one who leaving the religion, the same thing. He ignores a little bit here. He ignores something small here. Ignoring something small here. He ignores something here. He ignores, and then all this become on him, and then he went away from the deen. For the person who become religious, the same way. You following the ayat and ahadith. There's the ayah, he mentions something to do it, you try, do your best to do it. So this is making you to be closer. You found the hadith, it says something good to do it, you try to do it. And you found the ayah said this is not allowed, you stay away. And then this is your way until you're going up. So this is the way, istiqamah coming. It's not overnight. And also the one who away, the same thing. He ignore here and here and there, action here, speech here. So when you leave the masjid, there's a dua. To say something, there's something to say, to leave the masjid. To enter the house, there's something to say. To leave the house, there's something to say. To take your clothes off, there's something to say. To wear your clothes, there's something to say. To eat, there's something to say. To drink, there's something to say. To walk out from the house, something to say. You coming back to the masjid, something to say, to enter. So this, this is the meaning of istiqamah. Whatever you know something is good for you, you try to practice. So this is make you, to be religious. Religious doesn't mean you have a beard and sitting in a masjid, you have a Quran, read Quran all the time. No, it could be a person read Quran and he's a munafiq. Prophet ﷺ mentioned, munafiqeen, they read Quran. Have no smell and and murr, like a hambala. He have no smell like a date. The one who munafiq, he read the Quran as a date, sweet, no smell. But at the same time, he's bitter. Even he's reading Quran. So anyway, to have istiqamah, to look for what being legislated, to follow it. Then you will go, closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until you find yourself, inshallah, in Jannah, bi'idnillahi tabarak wa ta'ala. Brothers, the time, forgive me. I'm not going to take longer, except, if there's questions. If you have any questions, so inshallah we share. It's almost 9 o'clock. Any question? Yes, brother.
Should this principle be applied to your children? For example, if you are suspicious that your child is doing something wrong, should you not doubt that? And the child can take advantage of that you're not doubting them. And
this is a good question. The brother asking about the doubts, about the su'al dhan. You have a tarbiyah for your kids. You have a tarbiyah. So the su'al dhan is a taba'. Su'al dhan is a characteristic, is a character. There's an intention behind. There's a sickness behind, in the heart. There's something, push you to do that. If you have, tarbiyah, no doubt you're gonna have sometimes, that their speech, suspicious, their actions suspicious. You have to find out. This is tarbiyah. This is different. The one who have a su'al dhan, the one who have something behind it, pushing him, there's the intention. It's not just, because if you have a doubt about people, it's not just regular action happens. If not, everyone fall to it. But when become a habit, when become permanent for you as a character, so this is the dangerousness is here. Yes,
I don't have a question, but if you could just remind us, you said earlier that the hadith, that we get Jannah, we'll promise Jannah if we protect our mouth and our private parts. Just wanted to see if you could explain to us the other hadith of what happens if we recite ayah al-kursi after each prayer.
Okay, CJ, he's asking about the hadith again. If we protect your tongue and protect your honor, he promised, the Prophet ﷺ, he promised the Jannah for you. How you protect your tongue? How you protect your tongue? We have a good we have a good speech and we have a bad speech. We have a good words and we have a bad words. If you train yourself and you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's watching you, you train yourself to not say something bad because Allah is watching you, Allah He hear you. So this is you reaching the point the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he mentioned. You protecting yourself doesn't mean you're not gonna make mistakes. You're not gonna say any bad words. You fall to it. We are humans. لو لم تذنبوا لذهب الله بكم لأتى بقوم يذنبون ويستغفرون الله فيغفر لهم. So there's no way to not make mistakes. But there is meaning is okay to make mistakes? No, it's not okay. You will be judged for it. You will be asked for it if you not make tawbah. So, but we are not ma'soom. So, meaning if you protect yourself from anything displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, any speech displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you protect yourself and you do your best, so you reach the Prophet, the promise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then also, you protect your honor, meaning you not doing what take you to adultery or fornication. You stay away from these two things. You will be, inshallah, reach the promise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he mentioned. So I think he mentioned Ayat al-Kursi because we have a hadith. I think after this is what he means maybe after Salah. If you read Ayat al-Kursi, there is nothing between you and death to enter the Jannah except death. If you recite Ayat al-Kursi after every Salah, every prayer, so there is nothing between you and Jannah except death. Meaning if you die, you will enter the Jannah. This is the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the min afdal Allah tabarak wa ta'ala ala hadhihi al-ummah. So, again, if you train yourself, if you, we have another hadith I mentioned, I don't know if it's going to the English or not. Whoever believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, say good or be quiet. من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. Either say good or be quiet. So this is meaning you protect yourself. Try to not say something, displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The worst thing to make a partner with your tongue. Like for example, the person who swear by other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He swore by kids, by children, by parents, by grave, by prophets, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, by prophets, alayhi salatu wasalam, by angel, whatever. So this is one of the minor shirk. This is displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than backbiting, and people not pay attention to it. So the protection to try to not say anything except good, or just be quiet. Don't say anything. You will be saved. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, روي أن عمر رضي الله عنه دخل عليه وقد أخرج لسانه فقال له مه يا أبا بكر رحمك الله ماذا تفعل؟ قال هذا الذي أوردني الموارد. Narrated by Abu Bakr or Umar and Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhuma, that Umar, he entered to Abu Bakr. He found him, he's pulling his tongue out. He said, what are you doing? I ask Allah to have mercy on you. What are you doing? He said, this is putting me on the bad situations always. Meaning my tongue always putting me in a bad situation. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he said, لا يوجد على وجه الأرض شيء يستحق أن يحبس إلى الأبد مثل اللسان. He said there is nothing upon this earth, there is nothing deserved to be in jail forever as much as tongue. It should be tied, because person saying good or bad without paying attention to his tongue, and this is happening. So, brothers, this was advice about backbiting, and there's a lot of sins, mistakes, but this is what we point to it. Try to promise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from today to protect yourself, and inshallah you will be amongst the winners, bi'idhnillah.
So you mentioned that if you do backbite someone, the fourth condition is that you have to return the right to that person.
Yeah, ask him to forgive you.
So the follow-up question to that is, if he is, say, passed away or you're unable to reach that person.
Okay, so the question makes sense. If the person you are saying bad about him, or you take his right and you not return it, and the person he passed away, what are you gonna do? You're gonna make dua for him until you feel you give him his right back. Or even if he's alive, if you go to him, he may, punch you in the face if you tell him. So it's better just make dua for him. Make dua for him until you feel you give his right back. Then with the conditions, you not do it, you feel sorry, and you not go back to it. Yes,
Is it permissible to protect other people from like one is bad?
Protect them?
Protect for other people that this guy is bad.
Meaning warning people from person. الذم ليس بغيبة في ستة متضل. I don't want to take too much time there. There's a 6 type of people. It's not no backbiting about them. There's a 6 type of people. If you say anything about them, it's not backbiting. The one who being oppressed. He's coming to you. He's going to his neighbor. He's going to his brother. He's going to his father. He's saying, this person, he's oppressing me. What should I do? I need the help. I need the support. I need someone to defend me. He's being oppressed. So when he mentioned, like for example, a brother, he's going to the father. He said, my other brother, he's oppressing me. And this is, you mentioned something bad about your brother. This is backbiting, right? But in this spot, you looking for protection. It's not backbiting. And also, ta'rif, muta'arrif. Ta'rif, if you, like talking about, let's say, you say Ahmed, and we have 3, 4, 5 Ahmed in the community. You said, you're saying, the bald one, al-aqra. So you describe him with something maybe he don't like, because he says he's a bald. But you try to make a brother you said, I hear from Ahmed. He asked you which Ahmed? The brother Ahmed, the one who such and such. I don't know. The bald one. Okay, I got it. So this is, you mentioned something not nice about him. But in this point, it's not backbiting. And also mustafti. If a lady or a husband calling the sheikh, my wife, she's doing this and this and this, what should I do? He mentioned bad about his wife. Or the wife, my husband doing this and this and this and this, mention some bad stuff. Or my brother or my son or my father or my mother, doing such and such and such. What should I do? So he mentioned something bad about them. So in this point, you do what needed. You're not going to pass more what needed. If possible to not mention a name, you not mention a name. If needed, then you mention a name. If you say someone, like for example, your wife, she's not listening to you. So if you call the sheikh, if you say somebody's wife, such and such and such. So this is better than to say my wife. If needed to say your wife, mention your wife, it's okay. But if not, so it's better to not mention the name. To say, because if you don't know the person, it's not backbiting. If you mention something about someone and people don't know him, it's not backbiting. Backbiting when the people know. When you say, there's the guy in Bangladesh. He always such and such and such. You mentioned a lot of bad things. This is not backbiting because nobody here knows this person. If we don't know him, it's not a backbiting. متظلم ومعرف ومستفتن ومظهر فسق. The one who have openly disobeyed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who disobeyed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala openly, no backbiting. This doesn't mean anyone disobey to Allah, just go around people and mention him and tell people. This is when needed to talk. It's not always, because even for yourself, if you're talking about these people, you say because there's no backbiting, so you're gonna teach yourself, you're gonna learn, you're gonna practice this character to talk bad about people. So it's gonna affect you, if you consistently, talking bad about people, even if was no backbiting. It's gonna, you're gonna learn, you're gonna train yourself, to backbite others. Also we have وَلِمَنْ طَلَبَ الْإِعَانَةَ فِي إِزَالَةِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And whoever have asking someone to help him to change something wrong. Like for example, your neighbor doing something bad, and then you tried yourself, you wasn't able to do it. And then you went to the other neighbor to ask him if he can help you both to stop him for what he's doing. You ask for help to stop something bad. This is also no backbiting for this. متظلم ومعرف ومحذر. Also تحذير. If you seeing a person, he's walking with someone, he's dealing with drugs. Let's say he's dealing with drugs, and this person, he don't know him. So it's better for you, to tell him, be careful, this person have this and this and this. So this is no backbiting. Or he's walking, he's dealing with the, people of innovation, mubtadi', and he don't know. So to not attack him is allowed for you to tell him, be careful, this person have this and this and this. And so this is also asking for marriage, coming to you. What do you think about this person? He's asking my daughter, my sister, whatever. So he's allowed to ask, allowed to tell him what even bad. The lady came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Fulan, he's always have his stick, to beat a woman. So be careful." This is, I think, was the answer for your question.
Two other situations comes to my mind. So usually when, for example, in Pakistan they had election, so we talk about this leader and that leader. That usually the candidates that are running in election, that this person has this good thing or this person has that good thing or bad thing. Those kinds of things, talks always goes. Is that okay or not?
You think Mr. Khan will be out to leave Pakistan?
No, I'm not from Pakistan, but we are.
No, I mean, I thought you mentioned Pakistan.
Yeah, I mentioned Pakistan because the election was recent there. So.
Okay. Can you make your question, more clear?
Is it okay to talk about the politicians, their good thing or their bad thing?
There is no good talk about anything no benefit, especially politician. Politics meaning in this السياسة these days. Do you know what the meaning of siyasa these days? The politician these days. The real meaning of politician these days is hypocrisy. Wallahi, this is the meaning of. We're not talking about the siyasa sharia. We talk about the siyasa people talking about. Politician these days, meaning hypocrisy. So you talk about hypocrisy. But leave it all. Run away from this stuff as you run away from the lion. Be far from this. Stick to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have a Quran. You have a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You don't need anything to turn around. Try to hold upon what Allah sent to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't turn to no one. Don't turn to anything. What's the second question?
The second question is, if you are in charge of managing some people, so you actually observe their work, they report to you, and so you sometimes would have doubt about some of the actions that those people make. So you may be reporting to your other authority that, well, it feels to me like this person is not doing this right, or so because this person doesn't know that you are reporting this to them. Is that backbiting?
كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. I didn't get your question correctly. You mean like managing a job or a restaurant or some like places like this?
Yes.
So you do what's needed for your job. You're not going to talk about people. If you are a manager, you have some people under your authority. So you have to follow. You have to watch them. You have to know what they're doing. So this is amana. This is trust. Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that everyone has a responsibility. He's a shepherd. كلكم راع, like the one who taking care of his sheep. So he responsible, to take them and bring them back. So everyone have responsibility in this life. Every single one have responsibility. So, and then everyone will be asked for his responsibility in the day of judgment. Allah will ask him, he did good or bad. Yes, sir.
If you have like a family member, like a spouse or parent, someone that's not like praying or not following Islam correctly, maybe it's like your niece or nephew. Is it, and maybe your brother is not really guiding them correctly? Is the responsibility now on you to guide them?
الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر أمران عظيمان بالقيام بهما تنال السعادة وبتركهما تفقد الخيرية. This is something very serious, to command good and forbid evil. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. So the good of the ummah, the good of this ummah is gathered in command good and forbid evil. If we leave it off, the good went away. So in this, for your situation, I don't know that your responsibility, the relative, but at least in general is upon you to command good and forbid evil. So this is for every single one. If you able to command someone for something good and you not, you will be asked for it on the day of judgment. If you able to forbid evil, to tell someone for something bad, if you're able to do it and you leave it off, you will be asked for it on the day of judgment. You will be asked for it on the day of judgment. So then you know your responsibility. Your brother is, you have more responsibility. Your cousin, maybe coming after your brother, no doubt. But your responsibility in general, if you're able to command good and you leave it off, you're responsible. You will be asked for it in the day of judgment. Wallahu a'lam.
When you mention somebody going behind the innovator, then it's okay for us to talk about him, right? So I thought I heard, like, you know, first you advise him. If he doesn't accept it, then you talk about him, right?
Yes.
Barakallah.
We have a big problem these days. We have, relatives. They don't pray. We share with them. We eat with them. We sit with them. We have relatives. They sell haram, and we sit with them. We laugh with them. So this is by itself is a weakness. This is by itself weakness. Why? Because at least you quiet for what he's doing, even you're not doing it. So this is a weakness by itself. We have no doubt, if someone not listen to you, not taking from you, either he's going to affect you, or you're not getting any benefit from him, it's better for you to stay away from him. Doesn't matter how close to you, because your deen is before anything. If you think he's going to affect you, because the person is not listen to you, you give him advice, and you remind him, and he's not listening to you, probably he's going to affect you. Why? Because 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, you keep talking and talking, and then when you see he's not respond, and he's not taking from you, then you're going to get quiet. And this quietness is going to affect you. Step by step, you're going to see him on his bad stuff, and you're not going to say anything. So no doubt, if someone, if you warn someone from someone, or even the person himself, you first, you advise, you try to remind him, and then, if needed, to stay away, or warn others, from.
So should we break the relationship or just?
It's hard to say break the relationship. If affect your deen, affect your akhlaq, yes. Because my deen is before anything. If he's going to affect your deen, affect your akhlaq, your characteristics, then yes, cut him off. Save yourself, because you're responsible for yourself. But if it's not going to affect you, it's not good to cut him off, the blood relative. You should, stay with the nasiha. Once in a while, keep remind, maybe if he's not affecting you, maybe he's seeing your actions, you will be like a example for him, like a qudwa for him. So you don't need to, anyone, you give him advice and they cut him off. Because this is not a way of nasiha, this is not a way of advice. If someone for sure affecting your deen and affecting your characteristics, akhlaq, then yeah, protect yourself, stay away. جزاكم الله خيرا وأطعمكم طيرا وزوجكم بكرا وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وجزاكم الله خيرا.